A toilet that has seen the same ass for 60 years. The tub witnessing bodies once supple turn weathered and gray. A sink that washed weary faces the morning of the moon landing. A fan that dutifully sucked the farts out through the Eisenhower, JFK, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump administrations. And finally, the tiles that gave breath to the eponymous pink bathroom. If you, like myself, become the steward of a bathroom like this and the inevitable thought of remodeling to some absurdly photoshopped Pinterest post comes to mind, it is your duty to consider the following. Given that the quality of materials and craftsmanship lasted over half a century, are you confident that you can pull off the same? And given that this bathroom exists in the context of an architecturally designed home, which design cues are going to make sense here? We all want to make our marks on the world, and we want to live our lives the way that is in tune with our own sense of selves. So before you start blowing up your bathroom like you're Genghis Khan on some unconquered pink lands, let us explore how I turned this bathroom from grandma's bathroom fit for Eisenhower's turds into something that simultaneously honors the past, yet is in tune with modern times. Let's get something straight here. It's a mid-century bathroom in a mid-century home. It belongs here, and if I were to start eagerly throwing Instagram-inspired Home Depot garbage at it, then that is exactly what I'll get. A mediocre copy of Susie Big Boob's unrealistic portrayal of what her bathroom looks like. And that is to say nothing of the fact that if any of your design cues are missing mid-century vibes, well then congratulations. You just put two things together that don't belong. There are some things in this world which are just in harmony together, like ketchup and fries, Alex Trebek and Jeopardy, or Amy Schumer and not being funny. Likewise, a bad design will send bad vibes just as loudly as taking a dump in a urinal, putting a Walmart spoiler kit on a Rolls Royce, or a neckbeard with a fedora. So let's take stock of the best things in this bathroom. The pink wall tiles have character, are in astonishingly good shape, and have been masterfully installed. Complete with really special corner tiles, tiles that flare into the floor, special pieces for the towel racks, and decorative trim. The bathtub, although dingy in color, is actually very high quality. Cast iron covered in enamel, and has nice design cues. The oversized mirror is very luxurious and is in acceptable shape. The cast iron baseboard has awesome design and is built like a brick shithouse, infinitely superior to the sheet metal baseboards of today, which look like they're one particularly strong sneeze away from falling off. Then let's take a look at the not-so-nice things. The ceiling fan is cool, but worn out beyond repair. The floor tiles overwhelm the otherwise nice pink wall tiles. Aside from that, I just personally think they're gross looking, like old ham. The sink cabinet doesn't look particularly good, functions poorly due to how well it accumulates gunga in the crevices, and again, overwhelms with its color. The toilet has seen better days and doesn't inspire confidence for my occasional overindulgence at Taco Bell. The tub faucet is fine, but it leaks, so whatever, off it goes. This abomination is so horrendous only the 80s could have thought of it. Lastly, the sliding glass door makes the space inside the shower really constrained, and I hate cleaning the nasty stuff that builds up in the tracks. The light fixtures are outdated, and there's nothing particularly special about them. So, with everything I decided to keep or replace out of the way, it's time to work. And I should mention that in all my previous videos, I go into much greater detail of how to do the work. But the work should come with a fair disclaimer. Like Dave Ramsey will tell you, trying to remodel and live in the same place at the same time will suck the marrow straight out of your bones. I cannot begin to explain the anxiety that is induced by removing the only toilet in the house, then discovering that you are way in over your head and have no way of going back because you just broke the cast iron flange. And oh God, oh geez, 3 hours from now, Taco Tuesday will be knocking on your back door. Having a bathroom backup plan will go a long way. Seriously, even renting a porta potty can help. I better not be catching any of you trying to waffle stomp your way out of this. Removing wallpaper in the bathroom isn't too difficult, given that the glue is weakened from decades of moisture. Then, I tackle the light fixtures. The can light was easy enough and a direct screw-in replacement.
The light fixture though?
Yo, of course it was mounted fucking weird. Ordinarily, you support a light fixture with an appropriately rated box, but here we just have a plain old rectangular box that definitely won't support jack shit. Now, it goes without saying, but this is electricity, so you'll need to learn about safety, turning off the right breakers, and doing things to code. Either way, out it goes, and in comes a new one, instantly improving the vibe. It just goes to show you that a DIY project just isn't complete until you visit the hardware store at least 5 times in the 3-hour span. Next, this bathroom fan. When we first moved in here, we were confused as to why nothing in the bathroom ever fogged up while we showered, and so dismissed it to being some weird fluke of magical wind drafts. Turns out that this thing, even going on 60 years of service, was sucking like a jet engine, something I would discover really soon. But it wouldn't be so simple as just replacing it. Of course there was no ductwork going out the roof. Of course I'd have to go on the roof in the dead of winter and try to make a hole in the roof while it's raining like an idiot. Of course the replacement fan I put in, rated at 80 CFM, made the room fog up like the window of a sauna, with 8 fat and sweaty Russian men in it. Of course the 110 CFM fan I then upgraded to didn't make enough of a difference. Of course I had to go all the way to 200 CFM and replacing the fan for a third fucking time to discover what a hell of a fan the old one was.
It just do be like that sometimes.
Now we get to the longest stretch of the project. So I get 10 days off from work for winter break, and I thought that retiling the floor, installing a new cabinet, and painting the bathtub would take about 3 days tops. Nope. It took 10 days and 10 sleepless nights. I returned to work and spent the next several weeks being utterly useless. Not really all that different from how I usually am, just more tired, I guess. Regardless, I first decided I just wanted to upgrade the handles and faucet of the tub in hopes that it would stop dripping. Unfortunately, I didn't read the box and realized that I had bought an entire kit with a new mix valve. Oh well, here I go doing shit I've never done before again. This was really quite difficult. I soldered in valves to specifically shut water off to the bathtub for this job because I didn't want to lose water to the rest of the house. Then I proceeded with the job. It was very hard and took a lot of learning, YouTube videos, and effort. Then I painted this bathtub because it deserved to stay. After all, I'd have to pay several grand just to get the same quality because remember, this is cast iron covered in enamel. Some fiberglass chicken shit bullshit from Lowe's couldn't hold a candle to this. I painted it with what basically amounts to being Satan's piss. Seriously, even with a mask, I could barely breathe and my eyes watered as if people were taking turns farting in my face. Another interesting thing of note is that enamel is extraordinarily hard. Fancy that. I could barely get a scuff in trying to prep and sand the surface. We'll see how long it holds up. I also removed the sliding glass door and replaced it with a curved shower curtain, like you see in hotels. It made the inside of the shower feel much larger. Next came the cabinet. It wasn't terribly difficult. It was destroyed and in its place a brand new cabinet was built completely from scratch. All it really involves is a base, 2 sides, a front face, and a countertop. The tough part though, and this was self-imposed, was to plumb for a double sink. But I came at this with a solid plan and designed the plumbing ahead of time, so I was basically just building to my drawings. The wastewater I just kind of played with the pipes like Legos until I got a good result, then I cemented them in. Now comes the most grueling part in my opinion, the floor. This truly sucked the marrow right out of my bones and left me feeling exhausted. Part of it had to do with the dust. It just got everywhere and was really frustrating to deal with. Part of it had to do with how well the tiles were adhered, and even with this pneumatic hammer, I had a hard time. I don't know about you, but this is one of the few times I sent curses flying into the wind aimed at the contractor who did such an excellent job. Anyways, with those gone, you will learn that apparently I'm into getting my dick punched repeatedly because we chose a very difficult pattern to tile. You'll become a surgeon with an angle grinder to cut these to shape. We started tiling at 10 in the morning, and it wasn't until 5 a.m. the next morning that we laid the final super special cut tile, only to have it snap.
No!
Of course that would happen. Not gonna lie, I was ready to flush myself down the toilet in anguish. After decking the bathroom out in fresh paint and a few accessories, it was finally complete. Holy shit, I did not expect to get such a great result. I would consider this a resto mod. Vintage, but with modern improvements and furnishings. The pink mid-century tiles mesh incredibly well with the mostly white bathroom and are now a feature rather than background noise like they were before. It's not until the white floor was in that I had my, oh yeah, it's all coming together moment. So what is the takeaway? We shouldn't eagerly jump headfirst into DIY, nor should we erase history. The pink bathroom comes from an idealistic era of the American dream, a time of great prosperity in this country. And in many ways, I think most of us still believe in the American dream, even though it has become harder and harder to achieve. I did my best to retain from the old bathroom what I could as a reminder of past values. Because as the greatest generation gave rise to the boomers, and so the boomers gave rise to millennials, because everyone knows that Generation X isn't real, we understand that the reason we still believe in the American dream is because it is a value that has been passed down to us. In this way, I hope to honor and remember the tradition of reaching for the stars, white picket fences, the dog, the yard, the family, and a Dunkin' Donuts on every damn corner.